Good morning and afternoon. In this video I will show you a really nice and quick method to select and deal with very problematic structure called bridges, columns or handles. So first of all, what are those and why they are problematic? So as the name said, bridge and column, it's a structure that is connected with other part of the model in two places. In this situation, let's say it's a Mac, we have our handle. So there's this first point of connection, second point of connection. And that kind of structure are something that we are aware of, and it's really easy for us to make a UV cut in the base of those structures to avoid problem, which is really long compared with normal UV islands unwrapping time or impossible unwrap situation. So those kind of handles, columns appear in the photogrammetry in places with thin structures that are really chaotic, for example grass or sticks or any kind of plant, or in places where we had really problematic access with our camera to capture enough of data. And up here in the simplified version we have those handles that might be slightly above the surface, and it's way easier in that case to spot those, and other where are really close to the surface, and as you can see it's impossible to spot those. And even better, let's say we smooth something and that is a nightmare. So try to find those over the photogrammetry structure like a wall, right? So up here we have our grass, and quickly we can spot we have those bridges up here, and over the wall itself probably something under the rocks, so up here, right? There was no possibility to go up here and capture information about there's a rock. So let me show you examples of those problems. So Zbrush deal with those automatically, and we use Zbrush plugin UV Master, but unwrapping takes way more time. Pay attention to the top left corner when you're gonna see which number of the UV island is unwrapped and how long it's gonna take. So we unwrap with polygroups because those two structures are separate, and unwrap. Right now Zbrush unwrap right one that contain handles, and really shortly you saw left map that was unwrapped really fast, under 1 second. So like I said, Zbrush deal with those handles automatically, which is really nice, but it's not possible always to deal with those. For example, instead of 1 or 2 you have 17 or 70 of those. So unwrapping can take a long time to solve those problems by creating cuts on the base of those. And let's see how Rhizome UV works. So up here you have same geometry. Left is separate, right is separate, and left doesn't contain those bridges. Unwrapping takes how long? Quarter of the second. When structure with those gonna take couple of seconds, because Rhizome try to stretch that structure, and because of those it folds itself all around to create that circular shape. When you see those, you already know you deal with those handles and you need to remove. In the past I was using built-in tool in Rhizome that works perfectly fine. We use it in the edge mode, F2, and we can find it on the right side under the auto seams, and last one, auto select handles. So we click it, then arrow, and Rhizome gonna find each single of those handles and create temporary cut between those structure or up here in the connection point with the main geometry. So from there we click C to make a permanent cut, and then we can unwrap those islands without a problem. But like I said, we can use that tool, but I prefer work with the model that doesn't contain those in the first place. And in the past, it was a really wrong process to find all of those, because normally I was using that temporary selection, then try to navigate between Rhizome and Zbrush to find those. And right now I found a really nice tool that was provided with Zbrush for 3D printing. So we can use that method on our raw scan data, but it's gonna take significantly longer. And for that model that is 2.4 million, it's gonna take around 2 minutes to analyze all the model, when for the 1.28 million, it's gonna be a couple of seconds. So under the right side of the panel, under the tool, we're going way down to the polypaint, and we use just from thickness. We don't need any kind of other tool from that panel right now. The thing that are interesting for us is that one button that gonna make analysis of our model once, and then those two panels to play with values. So those two sliders works like a gates for Zbrush to represent with that heat map thickness of the model. So everything under the minimum will be red, when everything above max will be blue. So, and all those colorful elements are value between those two. So as you can think, when we create a really close structure, so for minimum 0.1 and for maximum 0.10001, we're gonna have just blue and red, right? And with that tool, we can find everything that is under certain thickness. So structures like those. So there's no one correct value to find everything. I think those are dependent from the size of the model. I work with not unified size of the model, so that's why my values might not work for you. It's worth to try, but like I said, process is instant and you can play with those values until you find something that works for you. I have my values in my notebook, so I know I need to place 0.25 and for maximum 0.00025. You don't need to worry about placing those two perfectly next to each other, because when one value of those goes above or under other one, Zbrush gonna adjust those automatically. So up here we have 0.25 and we go way up with the minimum, and Zbrush gonna move that point as well. So once again 0.0251 and minimum, just in case, 000. Sometimes you can find a situation when Zbrush gonna make everything colorful out of blue and maybe that's because you went too far with those values. So try to go with something not super small. So let's go back with those values once again. So as you can see, yeah, we reached that problem. 0.0525 once again. And right now we see a couple of spots with the red color, and as you can expect, those are our handles. Zbrush will not select all of those structures, sadly, because sometimes those values are not above thickness itself. So I try to find that kind of problematic spot, but it's really hard. Oh, there, let's say there it is. Pardon. So thickness of that is above that maximum threshold. So we can tinkle, make that higher, but then we're gonna have more false positives. Okay, so let's say we have our value that aim with all of those problematic spots. Up here I see we have a folded geometry that just needs some smoothness, smooth brush really quickly. And let's once again analyze it. So that place is supposed to be fixed right now. Yeah, there it is. So from that point, we can translate those colors into the selection, which is really, really great for us. So to do that, click Add Use Colors, and up here we place blur mask to 0, and turn on first slot that we pick over a blue color. It's gonna tell Zbrush to ignore masking over everything that is blue. So automatically Zbrush gonna select everything that is not blue. And this is great for us, because when we click OK, we can turn off the colorize. We can see everything is selected. And now we can use under the visibility hide point, and we can expand our selection to spot everything that is correct and false positive, to remove those really nice and quickly. Up here I see non-manifold edge probably, yeah, so false positive as well. Up here maybe there was a really fixed structure, so you can nice and easy remove anything that not supposed to be selected. But most of the situation I see we are nailed it. So yeah, everything that's supposed to be selected is selected. So we can go shrink visibility once again, invert it, delete hidden, and then we can go to the panel and use close hole, or under the Z modeler as well, close holes, to fix that kind of problematic spots. Then you can make isolate, zero mesh it, etc, etc. Like I said, it will not select everything, but Zbrush gonna show us and allow us to deal with those most problematic that are mostly invisible for us. For that kind of structures, I still suggest to use rhizome auto handle selection. If you want, you can go again to the colorize and make higher values to select those as well. But like I said, you're gonna have more false positives that require additional time to remove. So try to keep it really low. I hope that the video is helpful, and good luck!